Good morning. I just am making this video here before we advance the week. I was playing the Washington game last night. It got pretty late, so I didn't really want to make any videos last night. But offense did finally pick it up against Washington. 346 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, but we did have to throw it 38 times. Running still seems to be struggling. So we got to get the run game going. What was I going to mention? Oh, I remember now. The coaching ability. But some of you kind of are probably curious as to why I'm sitting on 45 coaching upgrade points. I had forgot to mention about that in my videos yesterday about the coaching tree. So I initially started my coaching tree on the recruiting. So really the ones you want to get is at least up to 3 for 4 on these. I did kind of waste 2 upgrades because I don't really sway the players really. So I mean, in my opinion, those are kind of a waste. I mean, you guys can do what you want to do. My best friend, he's considering going up into the elite tree to get more recruiting hours. But as you can see, I mean, that you're going to have to go to the 4th tier in the elite tree on each one of these to get more recruiting hours. So really, it's, in my opinion, I think it's a waste of coaching points. But again, you guys do what you want to do. My next upgrade that I went was tactician. So we went here. First thing I did was get maxed out offensive line because that'll help the blocking. And then we kind of went down the line really. It helped with defensive line, linebackers, defensive backs, quarterbacks, a little bit of wide receiver. We're still working on that. I could use some points to upgrade that, but as you can see here, with the 6, 6, and 8, that was something that I kind of regret going down earlier on, just because if I would have waited, when I got to CEO, this one right here helps lower the coaching points that you need for each ability if your staff has it. So if your coordinators have that ability, that's where you can get down to that 6. Just kind of like what I was showing here. So coordinators, somebody's got up to the 3rd tier of the wide receiver. So I could go get that for 12 points instead of spending 16 like I would normally have. But what I'm doing is I'm waiting it out for Program Builder. And so I could unlock it right now. I could. It only costs 30, but that would leave me with 15. One shy from being able to unlock anything in here. So first thing I'm going to unlock is this one right here. So when I get the next level up, we are going to unlock Program Builder. We're going to come in here and we're going to get Smart Goals. Because for every completed goal, we're going to earn 25% more XP. So meaning we're going to move right along the coach upgrade pretty quickly, actually. In the off season, that's where you advance a lot more of your points because you got records set or trophies earned, national championship won, etc. Well, those are goals. So by completing that stuff, we're going to earn an extra 25% more extra XP. So then we'll be able to move quite a long ways down the program builder. I'm not going to touch the roster retention. If my players want to go pro, by all means, go pro. They don't have the draft class share yet, so it's worthless. I mean, what's the point of me trying to convince players to come back when I don't even get to use them in Madden? So that's just, you want to go pro? Go pro. I probably won't touch the coordinator one either. I mean, you can. I mean, the one I really kind of wanted was the last one, but I don't want to waste 32 points just to get to the one I want. And so we're probably not going to do coaching family, not going to do roster retention. But pretty much everything else in here we probably will do, especially this one right here. And you guys that are operating on your smaller school rebuilds, this is definitely the one you want to go for. High integrity. Because it gives you an additional 3 persuasion attempts, which is good. Persuasion attempts have a higher chance of success rate, so meaning those guys that you have medium or low, they might bump up a tier. So medium might go to high, low might go to medium, very low might go to low, extremely low might go to very low. None may be an extremely low chance. So I mean that's kind of where I'm curious as to if that bumps the thing up a tier. But the one that I really want is the full refund. Successful persuasions refund the attempt. What that means is if you have like a mass exodus like I did last year, where there's 22 players trying to leave, you only have 10 persuasion attempts. Well, I've been able to get everybody I wanted back with that unlocked there. So that's just kind of one thing I had thought about when I went to bed, was just like, oh, I forgot to mention the coaching tree. But again, you guys do whatever you feel is best for your coaching style. But I will say the recruiting, I mean, you don't need to have the more hours. You really don't. As long as you, let me come into my recruiting. As long as you're doing it, like, don't do what some of these YouTubers say of, oh, just set it and forget about it. Like, no, if you set it and forget about it, you're going to lose over 50% of your recruits. I come in here every single week and we look at every single recruit. We check out, hey, are we able to hard sway them? Like for him, I only have one unlocked and it's a D. So, like in this instance, maybe I should try to sway him. It would probably be a good idea because I do have an A in brand exposure, A plus on conference prestige, A plus or A plus on conference, or A on conference prestige, A plus on coach prestige, A minus on program tradition. So I mean, swaying him wouldn't be a bad idea, but when you go to try to sway them, you really, so like I'll show you. If we're gonna try to sway, let's say JP Park here, we want to keep his hours at 50. So we're gonna come in here, we're gonna try to sway to, let's say, aspiration goals. That's a good one to have. So we're gonna try to sway for that, but at the same time, we want to soft sell what we know. I think it was gamer. What we know he wants. And so the reason I'm saying gamer is because playing style is his deal breaker. We've unlocked pro potential, so we know 2 of the 3 of his green checks. And then you can come in here. I'll show it in the next person. So then you would go in there and then you would play around with, go through every single thing there and see which one kind of matches up with at least 2 of the 3 that he knows. And then sometimes you might have, like, I won't do it if there is 2 or 3 potential hard sales, like where the 2 check marks match up with 2 or 3 different hard sell pitches, then I won't do it yet. I'll still keep it at 50, just based upon, like, hey, I don't want to hard sell him on a pitch that's not good, because the negative impact on a hard sell that is incorrect is much higher in this year's, I have noticed, than it was in years prior. So kind of going off of what I just mentioned with the quarterback here. So for him, we know 2 of the 3 are A's, just D, proximity to home. So if we wanted to, which I'm going to try, we'll try to sway him on the same thing. Aspiration goals. And then this is where I was talking about. See right here. It could be grassroots traditionalist. Could be hometown hero. Yep, so we know it could be grassroots traditionalist and could be hometown hero. I have yet, maybe, no, I wouldn't say yet. I found one person that was a grassroots traditionalist, but they were from the state of Iowa. So meaning program tradition, they knew the Hawkeye wave. Proximity to home, they had A because, they were, I think, from Bettendorf or from Des Moines, something like that. Stadium atmosphere, well, they've probably been to the games. And so they've probably been to Kinnick Stadium on their own, hooting and hollering as a little kid with their family or friends. And so that kind of absorbs, it gets into your essence as a little kid. And that kind of how that builds your fan base. So that one I doubt is his. So that's why we're going hometown hero. But if it is his, by all means, that would be the first time out of state I would have found somebody that had that grassroots. But that means that he'd probably grassroots down in, the Gator territory or Miami, something like that. All right. And we got a good enough lead on him. We're just gonna leave everybody else. This is at the end of the game, so that's kind of where I had forgot to mention before in yesterday's video. But we will advance the week. See if we had a full 8 visits versus Washington and Tim Lester and company. So we'll see if we earned anybody's verbal commit. I also do keep. I don't know if you watched the video from 2025. I do keep a notebook of all coordinator moves that I care about, i.e., Iowa players, former Iowa alumni. Um, so I have a list of the coaches that are from Iowa in the game. Outside of Iowa coordinators, we've got Miami head coach Lou Hernandez, University of Kentucky head coach Mark Stoops, Illinois head coach Brett Bielema, Colorado State former head coach, but he moved to Kansas State offensive coordinator Jay Norville, Central Michigan head coach Matt Drinkall, and Boise State, who's still there, Boise State defensive coordinator Eric Chinander. So those are the Iowa coordinators that are Iowa coaches and coordinators that are in there. There hasn't been any fake guys joined yet. I have kept track of the coaching hiring screen. So yeah, I do keep track of all my recruits, the gyms, the 5 stars. If you're not a gym and you're just a 4-star, then I'll just write down your position. But you won't get your name wrote down. But if you're a 4-star gym, 3-star gym, 5-star gym, just 5-star flat, I write your name down just so I can try to and encourage transfer window. I don't want to encourage a gym player to leave. So that's the main reason why I do that part. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's advance the week. And I believe we got Illinois for this next game. And we did. The number 2 recruit in the nation from Ankeny, Iowa, commits to Iowa. Let's go. See what I'm doing right now is writing down 5-star wide receiver John Meters. That's another commit. 4-star strong safety. Got a lot of guys in there down their top 3. Those guys that are ready for visits. Let's go. All right, now you can get to see the recruiting in action. Oh, why, hello. That seems to be working. All right. Well, so the sway improved our chances there. Boy, hello there, buddy, old pal. That sway worked for you. All right. So now, since the sway worked, we're gonna come out of here. We're going to go to the one that we swayed him on, aspiration golds, and then we're gonna max him back out. So now we got a good hard pitch. So I mean that's kind of countered what I mentioned about the swaying, that I don't really normally do it much. But I mean there are, as you can see, there are times where you may want to just to try to help get to a more ideal pitch. But it's not the end all be all. So you don't have to. See, I might have to for him though, because I think pro potential is going to be his. Yeah. Yep. So see how for him that's a C and a D. We do not want to keep that as a heart though. So for him, we are going to do sway again. We're gonna go again. Aspiration goals. And then we'll soft sell him on that hard pitch that we know is his. Even though it's not the best, I mean, pro potential at wide receivers, that's going to increase at the end of this season. I have a 92 overall wide receiver that's going to go pro as a sophomore. As a first round draft pick. I have an 87 overall senior wide receiver that could go pro in the 6th, 7th round in Seth Anderson. So that should be 2 wide receivers that go pro this year. So that should help our pro potential. See, like for him, we'll probably leave that. We got 2 A's and a C on playing time. Unless playing time is nope, and it's not his deal breaker. So which one was that? Primetime player. And then we'll schedule him for UCLA. Hey, there we go. He unlocked me again. Let's go. So sometimes you'll get locked out. Don't remove them from your list. This guy had locked me out for playing style. Evidently, he likes to run the ball. Because when first couple weeks when we were not able to run the ball as much, we were having to pass a bunch. He had locked us out for playing style because we had dropped down to a C plus for playing style. So for him to I need to make sure we run the ball, so that he doesn't lock me out again. And that could be an effect where we might see a decommit. I've had it only happen once, but we might see a decommit at the end of the year if we drop below that B threshold again, and we stay below it come into the season, because then he could decommit during the early commit window if he's already signed by then. He could decommit at that time. We hope not, but I mean, I have had that happen once. One thing I will mention that I do like is the pro potential is affected not as a team as a whole, but position by position. I like it and I don't like it at the same time because our quarterback pro potential is horrible. But wide receiver pro potential, as you saw, not very good. But that will turn around as we start getting people funneled into the NFL. Our offensive, our tight end, that's high because we've consistently put people in the NFL for tight end. Because the University of Iowa, I don't care what anybody says, the University of Iowa is tight end U. And we are tight end U. Well, I would say back in the day we were tight end and offensive lineman U, but since Proctor left, we've kind of been, since he went to Alabama, we haven't really brought in as many top tier talent as we used to on the offensive line. I mean, I wouldn't even say we used to bring in top tier. We used to just turn 2-star, 3-star tubbies into professional offensive linemen. But it is what it is. We learn, we grow. And one of these days, Kirk Ferentz will retire, and we'll be able to get a new coach in there that brings some young blood and life. I believe his is going to be brand exposure. Yep. I think it's going to be that one. I think it's going to be starter. Yep. He ain't going to go to Army, so. Ooh. Actually, you know what? Let's save his points. We might be able to come back and give him a hard sell. You're coming in for a visit today, so let's switch that. Is he coming for a visit today, too? Yes, he is, so we're going to have to remove some people's points. Oh boy. Alright. I'm going to have to. When we keep him. He's for a visit today. See, like, this is the part where I was talking about. If you just did what the YouTubers say, oh, just leave it and forget about it, and then simulate the, bunch of games. Yeah, and you would have lost out on half of the recruits I have on here. You gotta come in here every week. If you want to have the top classes, you gotta come in here every week. And when people drop off the list, you hop back over to the prospect list. And that's when you may want to go if when you get farther into the season, you're going to see, a bunch of people are committed or locked down and stuff like that. Like, look, the top, we get down to 58 before we're to the next grouping. That's not locked. I mean, they're both offensive linemen. If I needed offensive linemen and I wasn't getting those 5-star guys, I would be probably putting them on the list. Guard, that is a position need up there. So let's go ahead. We'll add that guy from Chicago, Illinois to the list. We'll scout him next week. Running back seems to be having a little harder time with my staff I have. We'll add that running back on there. We'll scout him next week. D tackle. We do need help there. We do need one quarterback, but if I can get my 5-star quarterback, then we won't need anybody else. So that's kind of the way I do mine. I finished doing the recruiting. But again, you do you guys. I'm just here to try to help. Point out some tips and tricks that I do that it's tried and true method. I mean, it works. I've done it. It works. See, for him, we're really far up the list, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to just move his down to 5 minutes for now. Because that gives us 40. We want to lock in that visit. See, for him, we might be trying to sway. But he's got to come visit. He's got to visit here today, so we want to get him as close to maxed points as possible. He's a 5-star. We're not giving up minutes for him. Is anybody still on 8? No, nobody's on top 8 anymore besides him. Which means we're going to need... We're going to need those points, fella. You will get them back. You will get them back. Alright, fella. I know you're an Alaskan and I don't like doing this, but I need those points, fella. Okay. So now, everybody that's coming in to visit... Oh, shit. No. He already had his visit. Now we gotta get him back up to 50. Son of a biscuit. He's visiting today. He's visiting today. We got to keep that because he's got to visit with the Razorbacks here today, so we got to keep him at 50. He's visiting today. We got a little bit of time for him. We can... Got a little bit of time, so we'll move you down to 25, fella. And we're gonna go all in on trying to get our Alaskan friend. Hometown hero. If we can get him, he'll be the first Alaskan that I've been able to get. I've always lost them to frickin' Washington or Oregon. All right, here we go. That is our recruiting. That's kind of the recruiting 101. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have questions, feel free to pop them in the comments section, and I will address them and see if I can help answer any questions that you guys may have on the recruiting, best ways to go about it, position styles, etc., archetypes. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to be possibly creating another video here versus Illinois. If not, it might be another game here I play later today. But yeah, thank you guys, and have a wonderful day.